this video does contain spoilers for Stephen King's 1987 novel, The Eyes of the Dragon, so you guys have been warned, as it features spoilers for the first 10 chapters of this book. So, just be aware of that if you choose to watch this video, but thank you guys for watching. Google says that Eyes of the Dragon is listed for ages 13 and up as a dark fantasy and a good entry to bibliography, is a good entry to the bibliography of Stephen King. And this was actually written for his daughter Naomi, I think I said that right, who was not a big fan of his horror novels, such as Pet Sematary, if that was even out by then. Sorry, I'm trying to think about what was out back then. Carrie, Salem's Lot, all that kind of great ones. But this book is much less of a horror novel and is actually more of a fantasy book, but there are still some dark elements you should watch out for. If you are a parent and your kid really wants to read this book, or if you're a kid trying to convince your parents to let you read this book, or want anything spoiled, don't watch this video. But, you guys can be here for any reason, but since my handwriting is impossible to read, I'm just going to tell you guys basically what happened, because I can read my own handwriting for some reason. Let's start with Chapter 1. In Chapter 1, they basically talk about how the king is single and needs to find a wife who, will marry him, because he is a bit early, I think he's in his 50s at this point, and is trying to look for a wife to marry him, so that way he has a wife. And, because, heir to the throne, claiming stuff. Kingdom stuff. I don't know how to describe this, I'm sorry. But yeah, Chapter 2 mentions how he's kind of scared of women, and he also, finds this woman, her name is Sasha, and in Chapter 3 it mentions that she died, and everyone was very sad about this kind of thing. And then Chapter 4 and 5 mention how she died giving birth to Thomas, and Flag was basically tired of her. Flag, actually the same one that is in these books, yeah, it's a demonic entity that was featured in a bunch of different Stephen King novels, is also in this one. They also mention how they had intimacy, I think is the only way I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, and then it doesn't go graphically into it, by the way, so that's not very bad, but it does mention eventually that she likes a dollhouse that she had at her old house before she had to move in with the king. And although this very, very trained and well-crafted this very well good builder crafted thing, I don't know, you guys tell me, please, but they built her another dollhouse, but it never really was the same as her basic one, and her son Peter actually really liked to play with it. He would imagine scenarios with King Roger and what's her name? I don't remember the queen's name, or at least the one that he made up, but they didn't write it down. But they also had a little son named Petey, or him, and eventually Flag is coming up to Roland, the king, and being like, well, your son's kind of playing with the dollhouse, and he's 6, I think, and well, that's not good for a little prince to be doing, because it could put a bad mark on the reputation of this entire kingdom, and, well, that happens. And then in Chapters 9 and 10, Flag is very much angry and basically done with Sasha, as she also, I think it was Chapter 5 or 6, I skipped this part when I was reading, I don't know why, but she taught him, manners and, a napkin, and was actually using, the god and dog thing, God backwards is dog. Do you want to eat like a god, or do you want to eat like a dog, is basically the whole point of that. And although other people around Petey would continue to be disrespectful throughout his entire life, he would not be. And in Chapters 9 and 10, Flag, again, kind of irritated with her, because Flag basically went into king for Roland, because Roland was not a very smart king, to say the least. He sort of is running the kingdom for her, and so for them, and she is kind of trying to raise Peter to be a good-mannered boy and all these things that are, well, polite, whereas most kings basically aren't. And so Flag attempts to kill her and poison her, or at least he's planning it in chapter 9, but in chapter 9 he actually tries to go through with it, saying all these kinds of things, and he smashed this very, very poisonous spider in his palm that he fed poisoned rats, and then slipped the poison from his cuff, because he was wearing something on his hand that kind of made it not so bad, but his hand was still swelling up. But he slipped into her drink right when she was about to go to bed, threw the goblet, and it exploded and broke, and he told the butler to go clean it up. And chapter 10 explains why he did it, and it was because of fear that the king's genuine love for her would have, he would kill whoever did the horrendous crime, no matter who it was, whether it be him or just random pedestrian. He would kill them and make sure that they were beheaded, and, well, he didn't want to be beheaded because he still wanted to somehow rule the kingdom someday. But yeah, those are the first 10 chapters of the book. This is my parents' guide, I think. I kind of just stole it off of IMDb and then just colored it in with my own thing. Sorry, it looks bad. But anyway, that is the first 10 chapters, and I'll check in again when I read 10 more. Most books I will only read one chapter and do a review on it, but this book has 142, and I will make 142 videos. But, well, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.